So, I'm gonna walk you through my architecture that I designed. This isn't your typical spray and pray system. This is better with AI powered intelligence, real time signals, and automated social selling, all orchestrated through a centralized clay database. Let's look at the intelligence layer first. This is where we get really nuanced compared to traditional systems. We're going to use Exa API to connect for our company and contact databases. This is going to be a semantic like web search. So when we can do automatic research on just about every company in contact and not have to rely heavily on Clay, GPT-4 or 5, and we're known to have a few errors sometimes. And this is just a direct pull and do the direct research that we need to form our positioning. So we're talking like market trends, recent news, what challenges they're facing, what they're actually working on, all this automated. So then we have common room for obviously signal and community engagement. See who's active in Slack communities, Discord, GitHub repos. And then we're going to use third party intent signals with trust radius. So who's actively searching us, what competitor pages they're looking at, pricing research, keyword search intent is with trust radius. Phantom Buster is going to handle our sales nav pulls to pull LinkedIn data, tracking job changes, job activity, who's connected with who. So, and then having Clay's database combined with Apollo, just because for Apollo's price point, we can verify data in Clay and pull from Apollo for cheap emails and cheap phone numbers. It's where if we don't want to use completely like our signals and we want to pull a list, we're going to use Apollo with Phantom Buster Sales now. So these is just going to be for generic list building, which we won't do a lot of. Clay signals, common room, trust radius, Exa API. All right. So from there, we have our central database. Now here's where the magic happens. Everything flows into Clay tables, which acts as our intelligent central database. And it's not static like it would be in HubSpot or most databases. We have the master registry that handles automatic deduplication, it tracks lead sources, and maintains data quality. So we won't have to use CSVs. That's the main thing is that we don't want to use CSVs. That's very unautomatable and formatting gets dicey. So as you know, we can use the signals, we're going to score, and then we're going to put all our social intel back into Clay that we get from Phantom Buster, that we get from Sales Nav, that we get from Common Room. And all our EXA callouts are going to go in research tables, signal tables. All that's going to be here in our master registry, and it's going to have different workbooks inside. Now we get to kind of our enrichment, obviously, Cage with Claygent, Apollo, and the common room. We're going to use Ocean for lookalikes and route everything with dynamic campaigns, generating copy. I would use a Claude interface to do the copywriting, build it in reply.io, because that's what I'm going to use for our SCP. It's one of the newer SCPs, but I really think it's powerful. I have Phantom Buster on auto, use News Clay campaign building, and we could do video personalization with Weasley and social setting with Fabulous. You could replace and put in what you need for analytics and CRMs. So this could be Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive. We're going to use a little bit of combination of both Clay for analytics, but also mostly Reply.auto. We could have another layer of Gong into your analytic tool of choice. I like, as of course, Clay just because I could pull real time analytics either with RSS feeds or any of the marketing integrations, Marketo, Pero. So now we know how we're going to do outreach, how we're going to do our routing, and how we're going to score. I think that might be it for the overview of the architecture. I also have how the tools will interact. I had to do these in Mermaid. I'm not super familiar with the Figma designs, so I use whiteboard, but I thought this would be better to visually. And it's the automations. So this is how we're gonna this is gonna be our intent. Then it's gonna go down to our enrichment, do some navigator, perplexity research, combine that with the EXA, and then into our research signal tables, and then that will form the copy that we'll use either through Claude or Twain, Octave. Then we're gonna have a persona auto detection. We use persona profiles in Clay. Then use a reply.io for email, Phantom Buster for LinkedIn, reply.io for video sending. But creation could be in Weasley or SenseSpark, obviously. And then this is what we have to optimize is by putting all the analytics back together, looking at our engagement, and then how accurate our intent signals is, and knowing which intent signals to kind of optimize, lean in on, and which ones to kind of drop away from. You could also check out, like on the Notion page, a complete web app that shows the architecture stages in a little more easily readable and understandable kind of format. Hope you guys enjoy.